both that time. You don't care how she feels. I know her. Just you time it right. She don't know you like I do is all. Here, some more money. Take that. I want you available and tidy looking for my mall opening tomorrow. Now be off. I'll finish closing up.
Well, no need for giving me this money. I stay presentable anyway, and my own riggedy Rego get me anywhere I want to go. You are to make sure you lock this here door, boss, especially while you got all that money out like that. If you're part of my observation, it ain't smart to.
Don't worry about the damn door. Get on about with what I told you, damn it.
Okay. I'm leaving, Lawrence.
Oh, I hear the door. Who's that out there?
Old age has made you sloppy, Lawrence. Lock the door, Creedon.
Well, if it ain't my old friend Peppy Wills, I'm presuming you bringing me my cut from my investment 7 years ago. You always was fashionably late.
What a suit. I'm impressed. I see evidence of improvement from that primitive lout you were. It'll make killing you all the more harder, old friend.
Why not have a drink with me for old time's sake? We can take our time.
No need to pour them none. It's okay for me to drink. See, I'm the boss. They just the help. Besides, they're on the clock. Nice. You've improved your taste also from that cheap wine we used to drink. This is some prime stuff here. Lately I haven't been able to afford such good quality booze.
I got a lot to be thankful to you for, Peppy. You pulled the film off of my eyes with what you done to me and to Dewey.
Did? Lawrence, the word is did, not done. Unfortunately, I see your vocabulary still needs a lot to be desired. Dewey was smart not to testify. You, again as usual, were not so intelligent.
Yeah, that's what you used to always say about me, all right. That and to always let you do the thinking.
And that, my friend, you're dead right. You know, Lawrence, I always envied how an uncouth, big mouth like you, with a flunky job, could ever have a woman like Esther. I'd cut off my arm to have a woman like that. I get out of jail, come back to Chicago, and the first thing I hear is, you've made it big. And along the way, you've made some enemies, powerful enemies, willing to pay to have you killed, but no one dared because of the local hoodlums being your friends. But me, being down on my luck, I find out who's wanting to pay for something. That for me is going to be a postponed pleasure. And so, Wolf, I'm here, and by tomorrow, I'll be somewhere safe, surrounded by a bunch of foxy-looking broads. As you know, the kind of party girls I like ain't cheap.
I knew when you got out, and I heard about your deal with Linda. I remember those two guys there, too. They are his men. They came with him to the old house. Question, Peppy. Will my death be the end for Linda? Will my family be left alone?
Linda don't want no niggas living next door to him. And he don't want them owning and running no business in his neighborhood either. So what do you think is going to happen to you? I promised myself after I've done with you, to give Esther a visit. I plan to give her a good going over. I mean real good. Hold still! Lawrence, I'll kill you now where you stand. Didn't like what I said? Hand over your car keys here to my assistant. We're going to take you and your car somewhere to have an accident. Word's out how you've been drinking lately. It's possible for you to have drove off a hill.
Will you allow me to get my hat and coat hanging over there?
You always was a closet, Uncle Tom. Frisk Thomas, then hand him his hat and coat.
I searched him, Peppy. He's clean.
Good. Lawrence, walk ahead of me. Don't forget, I'm pointing my gun at your back. Don't try no funny stuff.
Be careful, fellas. There's a floorboard leads into the doorway. Don't know exactly where the loose board is located. Been intending to get it fixed. Oops! I think I stepped on things making me fall. Oh, well.
Get the hell up, you fool!
Pepe, look, he's got a gun in his hand.
I'm hit. Boys, get me out of here. I need a doctor. Get me to a doctor.
Lawrence, you got Pepe. Look, Lawrence, my hands are up. We don't got no guns, Pepe's. Look, Pepe's looks unconscious.
Yeah. Surprised y'all, didn't I? Good old trick pocket. Pepe hit me too. I may be down here on the ground. I got it in the knee. But I can still plug you too if you make any funny moves. Yeah, Pepe's worse off though. Couldn't hold onto his own gun. Now I can't stand. You boys better get out of here. Them shots gonna bring somebody here. And you can take him along with you.
He's dead.
Mr. Leonard don't want to see any dead bodies. Why can't we just leave him here?
Why wouldn't Kurt Leonard want his man back?
Because Mr. Leonard told us to take care of him after he took care of you and take back the money he was paid. That's why.
Shut up, you fool.
Ain't nobody gonna hear us. It's his word against us. We hated this bastard anyway.
Y'all drag that SOB's body down the street and leave it there for all I care. I don't want it around me. Like I said, get! They're gone. Losing blood fast. Help! Help me, somebody. I've been shot. Damn it. Streets piling up full of snow. The wind done picked up too. I'm losing blood even faster. Lord, this don't look too good for Lawrence. Snow covering me more and more. Getting sleepy. Disappearing in the snow. Fade to black.
How long did this whole part been like before the last one? 2 minutes. I want to see if it's going to be under 2 minutes. Because the more I practice this, we should go down without all the stopping.
We almost done. We're really close. We're really close. It's a couple of monologues and then that's it. That's it. Yeah. I start off praying as Mama.
All right.
Okay. All right. I think that's it.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Everybody ready? Here we go. Hold the camera.
Sing.
Don't just be saying that. On 3, 3, 2, 1, and action.
Sing.
So, dear Lord, we are again gathered at this burying place a year from last January, following my son Lawrence Godfrey's death. We are here once again to mourn his untimely passing, and once again we ask you to forgive him, his weaknesses, and remember his good deeds. He tried, as only a human could, to do the right thing. So please again, I'm just asking you to judge him accordingly. Amen. Imagine that my son of mine bought this tomb in this segregated burial home and no one said a word against it, or about the other vaults he bought to house us, his family. And the vault right beside him is where he had his father's remains relocated, and that one next to his daddy is mine.
He never told us anything about this.
His will made me executor of his estate, but it's DeWitt and you, Francis, who run the businesses, even in his memory, to keeping that liquor store open. Lord knows I'd have never known what to do. And thanks to you, Ed, for helping. As always, you've been a true friend of my son.
Victoria, I remember when I first met Lawrence and later y'all. I now know how patronizing and condescending I must have seemed. You were kind enough to overlook an ignorance that was born of a sanitized existence light years away from the truth of the painful issues and consequences privileged people like me have never experienced.
I didn't get it then, and I really haven't got it despite Lawrence preaching all about it all the time. It was when you first talked about the wherewithal.
I really feel guilty that I still reap benefits from my ancestors' wrongdoings, but I don't see me giving it back either. I know if I was to repudiate my family's wealth and, say, redistribute it to the poor, if I did that, my wife and children will be vulnerable and helpless to withstand the anger and bloodlust from our circle of associates. They would perceive me as a traitor to my class. So instead, I still choose from time to time to give it to the right people, the wherewithal to help them to have some options.
No need for you to explain. Uncle Ed, we understand. No one's perfect. It's ironic. None of we educated and progressive Godfrey family members belong to church ourselves. To hold a funeral for Lawrence, as if it weren't for Mama and Big Mama, and their little Southside church couldn't contain all the black, white, and brown people who came there after they learned about Lawrence's death.
Unfortunately, I had to cancel my flight here from New York for the funeral, just as Bob had to schedule one back to New York to attend. Listen, my father learned to love Lawrence. He and my mother and my other siblings had all planned to attend Lawrence's funeral, but it was the day before the funeral that Dad became ill, and 2 days later he died. He would have appreciated that, even in your own grief over Lawrence, that you came to his funeral.
Don't let that be the cause of pain for you. We knew where your heart was. Neither of you could be in the same place at the same time. I teach my children that it's best to understand before you hate, just as Jesus did with them 2 criminals on the cross. He gave them places in heaven. We may never know what crimes they committed, but whatever it was they had done, they were forgiven.
And without conditions. By Allah, that is the problem I have historically with the Christian churches. They in actuality generate vengeance and condemnation on any who dare to disagree with their policies, twisting their interpretations of the teaching of their prophet Jesus, who they worship as God. Their churches dictate their views about the places in life for you American black people.
Please, DeWitt, please. Don't get Mom and Esther started in on one of your theological arguments whether Jesus was God or not. According to what I've been reading in John Locke, they all privately knew that no man or woman had the right, by conquest or money, to enslave another human being. I know from observation, some white people want blacks to still be slaves or to be compensated for something that was illegal in the first place. Oh, and DeWitt, the Muslims were in the slave trade business too.
The shame was that the members of the clergy were slave owners themselves. It's pathetic how churches in their zeal to placate and please the so-called decent folk have forgot that it was murderers, prostitutes, pimps, and the poor who Christ catered to.
Lawrence was bluntly honest and sometimes annoying, but he was always fair. Unlike me, he could put aside his own prejudice towards people like Bob and give back.
Yes, Bob praised Lawrence all the time to my family, about how it was Lawrence who provided him the jump start based on his own merits to free himself from being dependent on our family's wealth. Bob continues to be part of your operations not because he has to, because he wants to. He's no longer the son kept out of sight.
We love him too. It ain't how much you got,